What up, y'all? Julien Guiteau here. Super thankful because today we are on set of Chillin with Julien episode 6, where we interview inspiring individuals to inspire others. We're at the amazing Smash Studios. I'm thankful because today is a Kobe tribute. The legend, the icon, and I'm going to be chopping it up with a good friend of mine, writer Raheem Veal. Episode 6 starts right now. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's Raheem here. Most people call me Heem. I'm a future media mogul as well as a cultural writer and a connoisseur of culture. So I'm so thankful to be chilling with Julien for episode 6. Let's do it.
So, Raheem, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this special episode. It's titled Thank You, Kobe. I want to shout out my brother for making that logo right there.
That's great work, man. That's definitely great work.
It's the colors of the Lakers team jerseys, and we have the 24 in the spot in that little pocket right there. You are individual who I know is a big Kobe fan, and when we heard the devastating news of his passing and his family's passing and friends and teammates and coaches, it hit us different. And for me personally, automatically what I did was call my mom, dad, brother, sister, and just see how they were doing. And I know for you it was different. Tell us a little bit about what your first reaction was.
Yeah, man. So first I just wanted to, just let you know I'm really thankful to be here as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, thank you for having me on the show. I know you've been grinding, doing great work, man. So, really focusing on building your personal brand. So a lot of respect for that. Okay. So kind of get into it. That Sunday I was actually, having brunch with a friend when I got the news. Mm-hmm. And it all happened really quickly. Mm-hmm. There was a lady who was, we were at a Mexican spot, really enjoyed my Mexican food. And there was a lady who's, by the window, and she just said, "Wow, Kobe just died." And I said, "Wait, what?" At first I thought it was kind of just a slip, or maybe I heard something that wasn't there. But then everybody, you kind of feel like a collective energy in the restaurant kind of start to drop. And everybody's like looking at their phones, doing that, trying to verify the news. And I go on and I see, all the news verified. And like many people, I hope that it was fake. But once I saw some of these news sources, I determined it must be real. And it happened very quickly in the sense, too, that within 30 seconds of me seeing the link, my grandmother was calling me, man. Shout out to my grandma, man. She's amazing, man. She's taught me a lot about life and about family. But she knew, off the rip that I'd be affected, so she hit me up. I talked to her, to my sister, and then I started to just kind of get a flood of, people reaching out to me. And to be honest, it was just a little bit too much at first, right? I definitely needed to kind of chill for a second. I think I was like so in shock about the whole thing that I just kind of needed to like step back. But it was nice to kind of, talk to my sister and my grandma, kind of, two staple parts of my immediate family. So that was great. And then, to be honest, after that, I was really just kind of out of the mood, so I decided to kind of part ways with my friend and, went back to the crib and took a really long nap, woke up, hoped that it was a dream type thing, and it wasn't. So, I think that first day was a lot of shock, but I kind of took that week to, grieve, I think, along with the rest of the world.
Yeah. I definitely felt like the world had stopped. It was a moment in time where a lot of things we were seeing on social media just had to do with Kobe. Yeah. And it was for that whole week. And we're starting to see it still. And we're understanding that everybody grieves differently. And for people to just give each other space, and also in that same sense, be there for people.
Right.
I had reached out to a couple of friends, like just say super simple, I'm here for you. And that small thing, I think it meant a lot to them, because we were all going through this same feeling of just being sick to our stomach of a crazy accident that was so sudden that there was no explanation. There was no words for us to really think, and our minds were kind of all jumbled, at least my mind. And to think straight on, what do I say? Do I start writing what this man meant to me? Because I don't even feel that it's real yet, you know? But off the jump, a lot of friends and family reached out to me as well. Kobe was by far my favorite player. He grew up in our eras. Born in 1996. He was drafted in 1996. He's the dude I was watching and he was our era's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And
how did you first become a fan?
The crazy thing of how I first became a fan was just watching his performance in the finals against the Magic, seeing him and seeing how determined he was against all these different players who are very, very talented. And
he wasn't playing no games that series.
He wasn't. And to see him stand out from the bunch, you knew there was something different. And this whole episode, I definitely wanted to bring you on and have this whole episode be a tribute episode, not only for us to remember Kobe Bryant, but also explain what we got out of his teachings and his mindset and how we use it in our lives, and for the viewers too, what they could use during this healing process.
Right.
And I made a little list here. The first thing, which a lot of people are familiar with, is Mamba mentality. Can you tell us a little bit about what Mamba mentality means to you?
Yeah, and I think that's the word that's been going around, the most, right? Mm-hmm. As a result of him passing. I think for me, Mamba mentality is rooted in being determined, but not just to be determined, but to it's almost like you're extremely competitive, but you're not competing with other people per se, right? It's like every day you're taking on that challenge. How can I be a better person of myself, better version of myself today, right? As a person, how can I learn the most I can? How can I contribute the most I can? And I think it's a very cerebral, Mamba mentality is a very cerebral approach to gaining success, to the fact that you obsess over it and you're hungry for it and you're thirsty for knowledge. One thing I found so impressive about Kobe is that he was able to kind of put his ego aside when it came to trying to get to the next level, right? Like, for one, he would go to legends, Hakeem Olajuwon. He very famously went to go work with him to work on his footwork, and then, he's talked to Jordan a lot, even somebody who he was trying to surpass, just to kind of learn how he approached the game, how he navigated certain things, even as a young man, right, who kind of has the attention of the world on you and a lot of expectations to live up to, and pressure on them. So I really do try to lean into that. I feel like mentorship is super important. I feel like it's very important to look at it, I think, as a two-way street where your mentor can kind of help you get to the next level, but you kind of can also help them gain more insight until, being a young person in the current time. And I think Kobe really mastered that to the,
I'm in the same boat with you, primarily because what Mamba mentality means to me is the fact on how disciplined you are to being your best self every single day, day in and day out, no matter the circumstance. And what that did for me to understand, like, that's his mentality, it made me realize, okay, if I'm going hard in a certain sport, that means I have to go hard in my academics. If I'm going hard in my academics, I have to go hard in relationships. I have to go hard in each and every facet of my life and be the best version of me. And that kind of what Mamba mentality kind of meant to me. And what I want the viewers to know is that they too can use Mamba mentality in their lives, whether they're just finding out about it, or they've been trying to use it, or just heard about it. And for Mamba mentality to be something that we just live with day in, day out, it just automatically helps us be the best self, our best selves.
I definitely agree with that. Kind of jump in. I think what hurt for, I can speak for myself, but I think you would also agree. I think as a huge fan of Kobe, one of the things that was the most painful about it was I adopted a lot of my work ethic and a lot of the blueprint for how, I approach my discipline or how I approach even my self-image. I got a lot of that from him. So, and like you said, we did kind of see him grow up throughout his career, go through different peaks and valleys, sometimes fall up short, but always be willing to, go back to bat, always willing to go back to battle no matter how, bad the last one was.
Yeah.
And I respect that a lot. Even Mamba mentality, I think, is also kind of having a unwavering commitment to being yourself in these situations as well. Because in being yourself, the more you lean into yourself, I think the more you're able to share your gifts with the world and your passions, and you're able to go that much harder because you don't have to expend the energy trying to, please people or trying to, become friends and things like that.
Yeah.
Friendships are great.
Yeah.
But, I think sometimes when you're super competitive and you want it so badly, it can kind of get in the way of interpersonal relationships sometimes. And I think that's sometimes a sacrifice you have to be willing to make for greatness. And you have to be around people. Kobe surrounded himself with, the right people as well. Where you have a great team of people who are pushing you every day. And if you're ever, Kobe, you hear him speak, he kind of always sounded like the smartest person in the room to me. But I think he was just always the most strategic. Even if people were, more intelligent in a conventional sense, I think he always had the strategic mind to surround himself with people who were better than him at certain lanes. You even look at post-career, how he sat down with different authors to learn how to write a best-selling book.
Always learning.
You look at how he sat down with different famous, iconic directors to kind of learn, and then, he went to Oscar for Dear Basketball. It's just, to what you said about not only working hard in basketball or in one aspect, it's like a consistent principle throughout his life that I think a lot of us can take away.
Yeah. What they could take away out of this is many people may be able to do things that are really, really great, and you might not be able to do that, but that's okay. Find what you could do really great and use that in your own sense. Like you were saying, for example, Giannis is very tall, lengthy. He can get to certain places faster than other players. But if you look at a former NBA player, Nate Robinson, he's shifty. His handles are very, very good. His three-point game is very, very good. Find the things you're really good at and really increase them. A lot of people say try to increase your weaknesses, but I think it's all about strengthening your strengths. Play to what you're really, really good at. That really separates individuals. I find I love to share ideas and motivate individuals and use the ability of not really being phased in big crowds to promote a message of positivity and try to use that platform to help individuals. If I was a really good football player, then I'll be playing football right now. But I really realized that I have a knack for just sharing thoughts with individuals, putting it on social media and just doing certain things. And you found different things that you're really good at. And Kobe Bryant made everybody feel like they were their own Superman in their own world. And you not being him didn't mean anything. You being you meant the world, and he wanted you to be you as much as possible. And we ourselves know how true that is because we didn't even know the guy, but we felt so attached to him that everything he did, everything he said was wow, I felt that. So I definitely agree with what you said. Everybody's different. Just find what you're really good at. But that segues me into family and how big a family man he was. And you hear LeBron talk on interviews, and you hear everybody's stories and their personal stories. And I like this platform too because it's connecting individuals who didn't really know him, because we didn't know him. But we on TV, we're seeing a lot of interviews of people who did know him. And what you heard was the last 3 years out of basketball was his happiest moments with his daughters, with his wife, and just enjoying family time, because he put all that work in the 20 years of basketball. And now he is able to just enjoy the people he's around. So how important is it to just be in the moment and just embrace individuals that you really care about and spend time with them and go out of your way to just be around them?
Extremely important. Extremely important. You know, family is really all you have at the end of the day. You have people who become family who are outside of family. I would throw them in that bucket as well. But people who you truly consider family are all you have at the end of the day. And those connections are way more important than accomplishing any goal. But like Kobe, his family saw how great he was and how great he could be. Not just how great he could be, but also how passionate he was about it. You know, like, people compared Kobe and Jordan a lot. One of the things that people said was different about Kobe, especially Phil Jackson, is that Michael Jordan was competitive at everything. Like, he's trying to beat you at table tennis. He's trying to slap box you. Like, he's trying to do all of it. He's trying to outdrink you, all of it. But Kobe was really only passionate about things. Competitive about things he was passionate about, or things he felt he was great at, or, you know, because that's what fueled him to want to do more. So I think when your family sees that, they'll, you know, you look at his farewell game, he thanked his family, especially his wife Vanessa, for all the sacrifices she made and all the time he was away when she held it down, or just times where she was understanding, because as a person, that can be very hard to be understanding about. You know, their marriages, you know, had different rocky moments. So at the end of the day, your family really sets the foundation of who you are, and even just how you love or how you approach your life. And I think just expanding your tribe is one of the most important things you do in life. Like, chasing your path in terms of what you're supposed to do is one thing, but who you're supposed to meet, who you're supposed to touch, who you're supposed to impact, who you're supposed to connect with, that's a huge part of the journey as well. You know, I've met certain people where it's clear we were supposed to meet at that time, or it's clear that they were put into my life for a reason, or, you know, whether it was to, you know, help somebody grow, you know, whether it was to expose something about yourself. I do believe a lot of the people that you choose to bring in your life are a reflection of you, often, right? Like, and they can show you different things about yourself. But the thing about family is that you don't choose it, right? You don't choose family, which means that, like, family is really where you learn about unconditional love, right? So it's like, certain times you can pick and choose, like, who to be with or who to befriend and stuff like that. But with your family, you know, whether they piss you off or whether whatever, like, they're really your support system at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so
100%.
You know, and Kobe definitely understood that.
Raheem, I just want to thank you for coming on to Chillin' with Julien episode 6. This was a special episode, a tribute episode to the legend Kobe Bryant. I'm thankful because a lot of the topics we spoke on could provide value to our viewers and healing to our viewers. You're an individual who is inspiring. That's the whole goal, interviewing, inspiring individuals to inspire others.
I appreciate you, man. I always respected your hustle.
I appreciate you. And thank you guys for tuning in to Chillin' with Julien episode 6. Have a great day. And always know we got your back. Have a good one. Peace.